Hello everybody, this is the Anime Bro here, and welcome to day 24 of my anime Christmas list. And today, we'll be talking about anime number 2, That Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime. A story about a man who was killed and then got transported into the body of a slime. Basically, the title of the show. Now before this video starts, please like, share, and subscribe for more videos just like this. I can't believe we're almost finished with this anime list. Tomorrow on Christmas, I'll reveal my number 1 favorite anime of all time. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the story. Now, just like my anime reviews, I have a good point that I really liked about the story, and a bad point that I really didn't like. And we're first going to start off with a good point. So a good point that I really liked about the story is that it has great world building. Now many people know that I like slime over most isekai anime, and the one thing that I tell them that makes it so good is basically its world building. So in Slime, whenever Rimuru does something, it affects the world around him. For example, when he killed a monster, it got the human nations thinking, is this slime a good person or is he an enemy that we should be careful about? And also whenever he tried to act kind to all nations and try to be welcoming, he eventually saw that some nations don't want to do that, and he eventually sees what they really are. It's a really cool thing that I really enjoyed about the story because it eventually showed that Rimuru's actions always has consequences, no matter how big or small they may be. So a bad point that I really didn't like about the show was that it doesn't have character development, like, at all. It does with some people, but not everyone. Rimuru doesn't really have much character development, and the followers that we see also don't have much character development. They just stay the same throughout the show, and I really do gotta agree. I always try to defend that it has character development, but obviously this show doesn't. I know that this show is my favorite, but I do gotta admit that with its lack of character development, it doesn't really make it a good story. Basically, everyone in the village basically agrees on one thing. Rimuru is a great guy. There are some funny ones, there are some crazy ones, but they all basically have the same thing of Rimuru is God and everyone should worship him. And yeah, that's all I had to say. Now what I want to talk about is the main character, Rimuru Tempest. Now just like the story part, I have a good point that I really liked about him, and a bad point that I really didn't like. And of course, we're going to start off with a good point. So a good point that I really liked about Rimuru is that he cares about the lives of the village. Now the reason why this is a good point is because it makes him a good ruler. Because it's really hard to actually rule over angry subjects. If you make lives better for everybody, then people are willing to basically do what you want them to do. And we do see this throughout the show. He's not only nice to his own villagers, but also nice to his enemies and also newcomers, which makes people respect him. Instead of punishing those who were wrong, he actually gives them a second chance and sees if they're going to take it or if they're going to go the same way. And I really do like that because it shows that he will have a great village that is not only prosperous with everybody else, but also prosperous in his little town. So a bad point that I really didn't like about Rimuru is that he's too kind sometimes. Now, in a story part, that's actually a good thing. People usually root for the nice guy. But as a ruler, being too kind could actually be used against you. Because Rimuru is looked at as a friendly country, all his friends will be like, okay, this is a friendly country. But some country that wants to get all their resources and whatnot will actually attack them without any hesitation because they think of it as free loot. And because of that, kind of spoiler, that actually happens, and it leads to the deaths of many of his villagers. And that honestly is not what you want in a village. You should be kind and understand the lives of your villagers, but you also should be firm so that people know that they can't just do whatever they want around you. And that's just something I didn't like about Rimuru. Great character, but sometimes not a good ruler. So before I end this video, I know a lot of people are wondering why this anime is number 2 on my list. Now I'll just tell you, it's rewatchable. I rewatched this show a lot. Now in terms of story, it is not number 2 on my list. But because I rewatch it so much, it's something I always remember. And I always have a good time rewatching it. That's why I put this really high on my list. It's a good show to rewatch, and honestly I think everyone should get into it. But I understand why people think ReZero is better and why other isekais are. Because as a story point, this one doesn't really look like it takes itself seriously, while other shows do definitely do that. And I do agree that the show doesn't really look like a serious one, but I still enjoy it, and I do enjoy rewatching it every time. Alright, and that is the end of this video. If you really enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe for more videos just like this. And come back tomorrow for the final review. My number 1 favorite anime of all time. And this one, I actually do gotta say, it's one of my favorite. And as always, I am the Anime Bro, and see you guys later. Peace!